Heartbreak for the Reds this last week, first being knocked out the Champions League, and now losing the final in the Carabao Cup, regardless of how well we have done this season, and continue to do in the Premier League, this one stung. In today's video, we will go over the fallout from that game, and also discuss the record-breaking deal the club are set for after recent reports. Furthermore, we will go over our 5 biggest takeaways from yesterday's disappointing final. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Mohamed Salah made it 5 finals in a row without a goal or assist with an anonymous display as Liverpool fell to a 2-1 loss to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Salah was among Liverpool's least effective performers in an awful showing at Wembley, finding himself marked out of the game by makeshift left-back Tino Livramento. It came after a similarly difficult night up against Paris Saint-Germain's Nuno Mendes on Tuesday. In a week where the chances of a treble collapsed, Liverpool are still on course to win the Premier League title, and Salah's career-best campaign is a huge factor behind that. With 27 goals and 17 assists in 29 league games, and at least 1 goal contribution in 25 of those. But after blanking against Newcastle, his record in finals has been highlighted. In 8 finals for Liverpool in Egypt, Salah has only scored 1 and assisted 1, his last contribution being the penalty against Tottenham in the 2019 Champions League final. His only assist in a final came in the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations decider against Cameroon, when he teed up Mohamed El-Neni in an eventual 2-1 loss. That means the 32-year-old has not scored or assisted in any of his last 5 finals for club or country. The 2021 AFCON final, the 2022 FA Cup final, the 2022 Champions League final, the 2022 Carabao Cup final, and Sunday's Carabao Cup final. Even more worrying on Sunday was the fact that, per Opta, Salah failed to attempt a shot on goal or create a chance for the first time in a game in which he has played 90 or more minutes for Liverpool. Substitutes Harvey Elliott 2 and Curtis Jones 1 were among only 4 Liverpool players to create a chance against Newcastle, along with Dominic Szoboszlai 1 and Luis Diaz 1. 6 players attempted shots on goal, but only Jones once, and fellow substitute and goal scorer Federico Chiesa twice were able to hit the target. Salah and Szoboszlai were the only players from Arne Slot's starting midfield and attacked to play the full game, with the Egyptian touching the ball just 23 times and completing 13 of his 17 attempted passes. Meanwhile, his performance in the recent 2-0 win over Man City, in which he scored 1 and assisted the other, saw him record 47 touches, create 3 chances, and hit the target with both of his attempted shots. Now in some huge Liverpool news, Liverpool Football Club has posted a record-breaking turnover last season, marking a significant achievement driven by a surge in their commercial revenue. The Premier League giants saw their total revenue soar from £594 million to an impressive £614 million, largely due to a sharp increase in their commercial income, which jumped from £272 million to £308 million. This financial success sets the stage for an even more lucrative future as the club prepares to switch shirt suppliers to Adidas for the 2025-26 season, following the expiration of their current deal with Nike at the end of this campaign. Liverpool's current partnership with Nike, in place since 2020, guarantees the club £30 million annually, plus a 20% royalty on the net sales of club products. However, the upcoming deal with Adidas is expected to take the club's financial clout to new heights, with rivals Manchester United securing a 10-year, £900 million contract, with Adidas and Arsenal pulling in £75 million annually from the same supplier. Liverpool's new agreement is projected to be highly competitive. Financial experts have estimated that Liverpool could earn more than £60 million annually from Adidas, with additional incentives tied to shirt sales and on-field performances. In this portion of the video, we will go over our 5 biggest talking points from our 2-1 loss in the Carabao Cup final yesterday. It wasn't to be at Wembley, as Liverpool fell to a Newcastle team who quite simply refused to release the bit from between their teeth. A heartbreaking result, but one that flagged some major concerns to FSG. Number 1. Salah silence speaks volumes. Many times we have watched games go by wherein Mo Salah appears all but absent. It's frustrating and difficult to palate, usually until the exact moment he bursts into life and bends a fixture to his will at the click of 2 fingers. But not this time. As Anfield South rippled and reverberated, waiting for the moment of Salah's inevitable ascending, it did not arrive. Wait turned to hope, and hope to desperation. Salah has played an awful lot of football this season and made an entire mockery of the rest of top flight. But Liverpool needed their talisman and appeared dumbfounded when he could not produce the goods. Time and time again cameras panned to Salah, who cut a lost and forlorn figure on the touchline. Liverpool's Egyptian maestro could be seen repeatedly glancing up at the Wembley scoreboard to account for how much time he had left. Time is a very salient and pressing theme with Salah now. Is this the last time he plays in a final for Liverpool? Is it time that this team cannot purely hold reliance on his unquantifiable brilliance? It's easy to be hyperbolic when collecting a runners-up medal. There isn't a shred of doubt right now that Salah will not burn white hot and summon his every fibre to continue the fight to push Liverpool to the Premier League title. But this was a painful absence. Number 2. Centre forward is an issue. The concept of an out-and-out striker has been a puzzling one at Liverpool during the best part of the last 10 years, given the unique magnificence that was Roberto Firmino and the pioneering yet enigmatic way he fitted into a system which allowed both Salah and Sadio Mane to dazzle. Now, Liverpool marched to a slightly different beat, and while much of the forward mechanisms from the Jurgen Klopp era can still be seen, it is becoming more and more achingly apparent that Arne Slot needs, and clearly wants, a central prolific goal-getter. Diogo Jota, for all his undoubted skill in finishing inside and around the box, blows hot and cold in the Slot system, and forever appears fearful of the next imminent injury. It came as no surprise to see the Portugal international hooked, though the arrival of Darwin Núñez only served to feel like a Hail Mary. How typical it was that the player Liverpool decided to rule out when signing Núñez, Alexander Isak, would bury a sublime finish on the biggest stage. Slot has very specific football plans, and they require a bona fide striker with a ruthless finishing ability. Something has to give. Number 3. Arne Slot will play Russian roulette. If there was one thing we learned in the desperate dying stages, it's that Liverpool's manager will go all guns blazing with full intention of dying by the sword that is all-out attack. As Newcastle rallied and tightened, Slot acknowledged that it was a smash glass and emergency situation. Liverpool ended the match with Núñez, Federico Chiesa, Cody Gakpo and Salah on the pitch, with the attack-minded Harvey Elliott just behind and Virgil van Dijk up front. Although perhaps slapdash, the intent was clear. The chamber would be spun, the trigger pulled, and roulette would be played. The intent from the manager had both the prospect of flooding in goals, yet also an increased likelihood of capitulation and possible defeat by cricket score margins. Seeing Chiesa slot into the bottom corner somewhat vindicated the pedal to the metal fury, but it ultimately would not be enough. Number 4. Waning energy levels are a reinforcement cry. While it's plain to see that Slot's Liverpool are more reserved with their energy levels over the course of a campaign compared to the previous Klopp regime, there is no getting away from the fact that an all-out assault for every major honour during the run of a season takes a tremendous amount of output. After being put through the ringer by PSG just 5 days ago, Liverpool struggled to muster the blitzkrieg attack that was required at Wembley. Passages of play were elite, but Liverpool over 100 minutes were not. It's a sign to the hierarchy, the Czech writers in the Fenway setup, that work needs to be conducted this summer. Slot and his medical team have worked wonders when it comes to keeping the senior squad fit, a trait he became famed for at Feyenoord. But even when fully stocked, this Liverpool side still need those extra renewed sprinkles of magic. Number 5. Quansah is a slot player. It's hard to find positives when you've just watched your team lose a final and fall at the last hurdle, but praise must be allocated here to Jurgen Quansah, who did what was required of him when standing in for one of Liverpool's most unique personnel. What does it mean to be a slot player? The list is pretty extensive. Composure on the ball, successful in the duels, progressive with pass selection, on and on. But one of the primary components of being a slot player is a willingness to learn and demand the very best of your abilities. Quansah stepped up to the plate in a match he probably never envisaged featuring in, let alone at full back. It has been several months now since that fateful late summer afternoon at Portman Road, when the youngster was unceremoniously hooked by Slot at the interval after failing to live up to the new manager's basic demands. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.